Hey everyone, it's Barbie J. Welcome to my channel, June BLC. Hey there everybody, it's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's comedy drama, Sistas, Season 7, Episode 20, Beautiful Liar. And we know who that was. That was the lovely and beautiful Andy. She was lying the whole episode until she confessed to Fatima. Anywho, I'll be honest, I didn't care much for this episode. It just seemed like a filler episode. Nothing really was happening. And I'll be honest, all of those scenes with Maurice, that was supposed to be a comedic comedy moments or something, they were not funny to me. It was just like he was trying so hard and there was nothing for me to chuckle about. I think his timing was inappropriate at the time when things were going, and it didn't work for me. But before we get started and me doing this whole recap, if you're new here or if you're returning here and have not subscribed to my channel as of yet, please take a moment right now, hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell and select all. It'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. It will also let you know anytime I do a YouTube live, which in fact will be this Thursday, July 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, Thursday, July 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then I ask that you like the video, write a comment, join the conversation, and share because sharing is caring. So this episode starts off with Gary still in the penthouse, and he's telling everybody that Andy is his fiance and that they're getting married. He wanted to invite everybody to the wedding except for the hood rat duo, and we were wrong. We knew it was Fatima, but it was Fatima and Zach. It's so funny because I did think about Zach, but I thought he was pointing the other way when he said it. That's why I thought he was pointing at somebody else on the other side. But anyway, um, Gary is just being a nuisance. Everybody's like, I can't believe this. No, Andy, please, Andy, all of that stuff. And then, Gary is like rude, and Rich decided he was going to step to Gary just like Zach, because Zach kept telling him to get out of there. And he was like, okay, G Unit, be careful. Gary's acting like he's like a white boy or something like that. And Zach's like, I'm trying to stay out of jail, but please, I need you to go, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Gary is being a pain in the butt. Rich is saying, we'll take turns whooping you behind. I'll let Zach go first because it is his baby shower and all this stuff. So all of that was going on. Gary finally kissed her and left, but he said he changed his mind. He not inviting any of them to the wedding. And then he said something about Karen and her menses, about having two baby daddies. And I'm like, how did he know that? Either he heard it, or as he had the apartment bugged, or Andy told him. And I'm like, why would Andy tell him? So I'm trying to figure out, how did he know about that? Unless they were talking about it at the baby shower and he has the penthouse bugged. So y'all let me know down in the comment section if y'all thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Anywho, he leaves. The girls are in Andy's bedroom, and she's sticking to her story. She's not telling them the truth. They're like, tell me it ain't so. Karen's like, make it make sense. Sabrina asked her, was she cheating on Jordan while messing with Gary? She said yes. They can't believe it. Karen can't believe it. Andy said, Fatima was like, nope, she can't even look us in the eye. Danny was like, I wanted to fly over there and kick him. There was all of this stuff going on. So you got Maurice out there listening to the door, and he's trying to report back to Rich and Zach, who's sitting on the couch. They are talking like they can't believe it either. Zach is like, well, I thought Andy was smart, but I guess not. This guy is unhinged and da da da. So everybody's doing all the talking. Then they, Maurice goes back with the lie. Andy said this, and this, saying that whatever Andy said, but Andy didn't say that. Talking about she's sticking with Gary because she want that big ding dong and all that stuff. Anywho, they come out. Karen and Danny leave. I see Tony wasn't there, so I don't know when Tony left, but I noticed Tony wasn't there. And Zach said he's going to go down to the car, tell Fatima he'd be down there waiting. And Rich offered to help Sabrina clean up, and Maurice tried to leave out of there, but Sabrina was like, nah, you promised to help clean. You need to clean. So when Andy came out of the bathroom, she noticed that Fatima is still sitting there. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And Fatima's like, "You know, I know you. I could understand you don't want to tell your girls." She said, "But what's going on, Andy?" But she could have easily said, "You were crying in the office the other day and said there was something going on, that Gary is making your life miserable. What is it?" She could have said that, but she didn't, and she let Andy tell her the truth about Gary giving her an ultimatum, about the cartel, about what he's going to do to Jordan, make his life miserable, everything. So she was crying and she was like, "I can't believe he gave you an ultimatum." And Andy was like, "I don't know what to do. I'm stuck." Then they switch over to a scene with Jordan and Ethan, and he's helping him get his notes together for a speech that he has to do. And of course, gossipy Rich runs over there real quick and lets Jordan know what the deal was and what happened at the baby shower, and that he need to leave Andy alone because she's going back to Gary. And Jordan just can't believe it. He don't know what's going on. And he tries to call Andy, but it goes to voicemail. Now we have Zach getting home, and the babysitter's there, Miss Rose, I think her name is. And she leaves, and Zach picks up Michael and says, "Come on, let's talk." And he lets him know that he's going to be a big brother, that he's going to have a little sister. And then he says, "I used to have a big brother. I have a big brother." But it seemed like he's getting sad that he doesn't have a tight relationship with his big brother. And then he says out loud to himself, "I'm going to make sure that you and your sister are tight and stick together." So I guess Zach is basically missing his brother Jeremiah. But I think as a team, Jeremiah is going to be back and they'll probably have a little closer relationship. I don't know. Hopefully that's what'll happen. But you could tell Zach doesn't want Mikey to have that type of relationship that he had with his brother. Next, we have Rich arriving to Sabrina's house. And she's like, "What took you so long?" Then she said, "You went to tell Jordan, didn't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's my boy. I have to let him know and stuff." And he's like, "Well, so what did you want to talk to? You made it sound like it was urgent." She said, "Okay, you want to jump right in?" And she said she found a sperm donor. She let him know it was the guy, Damani. He's not happy about it. Rich is not happy. He's being jealous. Oh, he's asking all these questions. He got a lot to say. It's like, dude, you knew the process that she was doing. And you're sitting there going, "You don't even know this dude. You don't know this. You don't know that." But I'm sitting there going, she don't know none of them. Everybody she's looking at is a piece of paper that she's reading up on these people. She don't know them. She ain't never met any of these sperm donors that she was searching and researching for. So what are you saying, Rich? Pay attention, dude. Pay attention. I don't know why Sabrina didn't say, "I don't know any of these people that I'm looking at. They all, donated sperm. That's it." And she could have said, "He donated sperm in college. That's something he does, whatever." But anywho, moving right along. Here we are at Danny's apartment, and Tony comes in. He wants to hurry up and take a shower before he hears her version of what happened at the baby shower, because he's already heard Rich. Rich seemed to be a little biatch running around telling everybody, "Oh, this happened, that happened, that happened." He might as well be cool with Maurice, because Maurice like the tea being spilled and all of that. So anywho, so Tony's phone keeps ringing and blowing up. So Danny reaches over to get it. And she said maybe something's wrong with the kids because it's from Tiffany. And then she sees Tiffany is sending these pictures of her tits or something like that, or whatever it is. And so when Rich comes out the shower, Danny confronts him with it and asks, and he's like, "Oh, you being jealous? You doing this? Why are you looking through my phone?" She's like, "I wasn't looking through your phone. I just answered it. That was it. I'm not looking." It kept ringing. And she said, "I thought it was something important." He's like, "No, but you looking through it." She's like, "Stop trying to turn it around on me. Why is she sending you that? You're sitting there telling me that I'm being jealous, but look at what she's doing." And he's like, "I've told her." She's like, "What are you going to do about this? How are you going to handle it?" "I don't know." She's like, "What, you going to put her in check?" He said, "I've been putting her in check about it," but she keeps on. I was like, don't call Danny jealous when she was right when she said your wife is trying to move her way back into the family. So stop and agree with her and say, "Look, think about it. Maybe we need to sit down with her and let her know this is who I'm with, blah, blah, blah." you know. But anyway, but he walks out with the towel wrapped around his waist. And she's like, oh, you just gonna leave like that with the towel? She said, yeah. She said, well, that's my towel. Leave it here. And he actually dropped the towel, picked up his clothes, and went out her door naked. That's a fool and a half. And usually when somebody want to react like that and don't want to talk and be an adult and talk about it, they guilty about something. I'm sorry. It just felt like he's guilty about something. Why wouldn't you want to talk about it? Why would you leave out of the house like that? It made no sense whatsoever. Now in Gary's office, we have Andy and Gary talking to a wedding planner, and she's asking them questions, and they're doing the wedding planning thing. She's like, this is going to be the wedding of the century. It was nice meeting you, Mr. and Mrs. Borders, da 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 da. And Gary's like acting like that a white person. Oh, really? And all of that stuff. Anyway, she leaves. Andy moves away from him and said, now can I leave? He said, no, drop them panties. She tells him it's that time of the month and stuff. He said, then take them off. I want to smell you for the rest of the day. Leave them here. And she left out with no panties on and went to work. He is disgusting and disgraceful what he's doing to her. And he told her, you're stuck with me, so just deal with it. And I was like, poor Andy. Too bad she don't have no connections with anybody to take care of his black behind. So now we at Brookhaven Bank, and Maurice comes in. I guess he's late to work or whatever, and he wants to know the tea. Wants Sabrina to spill the tea on what happened with the sister circle and everything. So Sabrina told him as much as she knew, but she was like, could you go now and get back to work? She said, I got a call. She picks up the phone to get a call, and he's yelling, look, I want to know something about biatch and all of this stuff. And I need some back pay. I just got this job back. And he's yelling this stuff while she just said, I'm on the phone, and she's covering it. And I'm like, Sabrina, you's a dumb manager. I'm sorry. You need to check him and stop allowing Maurice to get away with this stuff. It's never going to end. He's never going to respect you. And so now she answers the phone, and it's Damani saying that he got his blood work done. He's coming from the doctor. Everything will probably check out. She's so excited because he's going to be her new sperm donor. So everything is good with that. So now over at the hair salon, Karen calls Pam into the office and lets her know about all that stuff that she charged on her business credit card and that her insurance lapsed because of it. And Pam was like, I did order stuff for the company as well. She said, and that stuff I ordered was a while back. She said, yes, but the balance still remains on my card. And Karen told her, and you only ordered 2 things for the company on that. Everything else was yours. And Pam is just like, well, just stop tripping. I'll let you borrow some money. She said, borrow? She said, you owe me. She said, and when you pay this balance, I don't owe you ish. Karen told her. So you either cut me in, or I don't want to hear nothing else about no roots to riches up in here. And she was like, hell, the way you was talking about it, you didn't even believe in me. She said, I wanted you to do your job that I hired you to do here. You were doing everything else. She said, do you know how many complaints I get from the stylist about you? She said, they just jealous. I be jealous too. She said, look, in 8 months, I'll have my money. I'll keep my successful business, have my money, and I'll pay you back. I said, 8 months? Do you know how much a credit card bill grows in 8 months with the interest? She gonna owe double what she had on there that she charged. I was like, I don't even know if people understand how credit cards work, but they don't work like that, baby. The balance don't stay the same for 8 months. That balance grows because of interest and all the late fees because it's not being paid. Pam is being very irresponsible, and Karen needs to stay on her behind about it. Y'all let me know if y'all agree about that down in the comment section, but Pam is really out of control. She don't have a clue about credit cards. I thought she got a line of credit or something. First of all, you sitting there telling Karen that you can lend her money. If you could lend it, you could pay the credit card. What the hell? you know? So now we have Andy getting to work, and she gets a phone call, and it's Penelope. And Penelope's asking her, why did you break up with Jordan? And she said, I really shouldn't be talking to you on the phone. It's not safe. She said, the phones are not bugged. She said, well, I don't feel comfortable talking to you. And Penelope is like, does this have something to do with Gary? She said, I don't think we should be talking. She said, it does have something to do with him. She said, oh, I have to go because then somebody came into the office and it was Fatima. So she hung up from Penelope. And so Fatima asked her, how is she feeling? And she's like, hurt, trapped, confused, scared, angry, pissed, upset. I was like, dang, she was going through the line. So I don't know how she's dealing with this, but she needs help. And Andy was just saying, sometimes it says to spare the people you love, you have to make horrific sacrifices. And I was like, no, baby, we can't. That's not good for us. And so Fatima is presenting Andy with a permanent option for helping her get out of this issue. Meaning, what if Gary wasn't no longer around? And she said, and I don't mean just out of Atlanta. I said, uh-oh. She talked about killing him. Don't y'all think? Because that's what I'm thinking. Y'all let me know. And so now, still at the law firm, we have Hayden in his office, and Miss Marie comes by, and she tells him she owns this private island off Antigua, and she wants him to go away for a weekend getaway. And he was like, he could probably do it. He's up for it, but he said it wouldn't be good to do it around now. He said he don't want it to look like suspicious or anything. It would be too soon, he told her. So she was like, oh, look at you thinking with the right side of your brain. I said, or the smart side of your brain, whatever she said. But he told her, he said, we trying to win the case, not get caught. And at this point, she's behind him, rubbing on him. And the door is open, y'all. She going down, her hand between his leg, and that's when Tamara walks in. But everybody keeps saying Hayden has a glass office. Where was the glass? Because there is no way that Miss Marie could be doing that and having her hand down in between his legs if he has a glass office and other people could see it. So y'all have to explain this to me and make it make sense, because everybody kept telling me he has a glass office, but how is she doing that with a glass office and everybody's walking by watching this? It can't be. It just can't be. So anyway, Tamara walks in there, catches him, and she's like, you dirty bleep, 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 bleep. And Miss Marie is like, you just let your assistant walk in like that? And she's like, I'm not his assistant. I'm his girlfriend. I'm confused. I thought they were still married, y'all. What is going on? How is she his girlfriend? Somebody please explain that to me in the comment section. I must have missed something. I thought we had all said that they were still married. What's happening here? But anyway, the two ladies get into a back and forth. Wait, and then Tamara says, that's where the old gray pubic hair came from. I was like, oh my God, disgusted. Anyhow, Tamara got pissed off her. She called the lady a senior citizen and all that stuff. And Miss Marie was taking off her jacket, ready to fight with her and everything. I said, what is going on? And Hayden standing in between them. And Tamara said, you know what, forget you. She mushed Hayden and walked out and left. And he went chasing her down the hallway. Miss Marie in his office laughed and said, oh, I haven't had this much fun in a long time. So they run past Andy and Fatima, and they're wondering what's going on. And then Miss Marie come out there, and they're like, uh-oh. And so they asked Miss Marie what's going on, and she's like, she don't know, and she don't care. And then she looked at Andy's eyes and said, ooh, what's wrong with you? Jordan break your heart? And she said, oh, no, I ain't get no sleep. She was like, honey, it's called concealer. Conceal all that drama, honey, because, like, she looking busted. I said, oh, snap. So she said, anyway, I have a gala tonight, and I'm going to be serving looks. She said, they can't handle me if they had instructions. I said, oh, girl, okay, I like that. You better tell them. And she walked out, and Andy and Fatima looking like, what was that all about? So now we have Tony sitting in Rich's juice bar, and they're talking. And Tony's telling Rich everything that happened with Tiffany sending a picture and Danny seeing it. And Rich is like, I'm shocked you made it here in one piece, knowing Danny would have whooped that ass, because Danny crazy. And he's like, me too. He said, but she was snooping through my phone, and she told him she wasn't snooping. And that's the thing. That's how communication breaks down and gets all jacked up, because he's not hearing her. She told him 2 or 3 times she wasn't snooping. She just answered it. And he keeps saying she's snooping, which is really bad. That's when relationships break down, because you're not trusting and believing what she's saying. And so Rich makes a comment, welcome to my world. He's like, well, what happened with you, and your girl? And he tells him about Damani, and he's about to give sperm. And he's like, you let your girl get pregnant by another man? He's like, what's wrong with you? And he was like, he broke it down to him like, you're young, you're successful, you know, you're making good money, you about to open up another shop in Buckhead, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, what is wrong with you? And Rich said, well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound bad. It's just that I never saw myself with kids. Tony said, what is wrong? And Rich said, I just wanted to be financially stable before I had any kids. And Tony said, you are, you know, or something like that. So we're going to see. He told her he better go get his girl or something like that. So we'll see what happens there. And then it ended with Andy in her office. I guess it's the next day because she got on a different outfit. And she just keeps seeing flashes of Gary threatening her and stuff. And Jordan comes busting in there with the receptionist trying to chasing him. And she apologized to Andy, but Andy's like, it's okay. And then he goes, you broke up with me so you could marry Gary? He said, after all we've been through, after all the stuff he did, he said, you owe me an explanation and I'm not leaving without it. And that's how it went off, y'all. So y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about it, okay? It's your girl, Barbie J, saying please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.